Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello students, you are welcome back from Salah holiday. Today we want to discuss the third week js2 basic technology lesson, and the topic we want to discuss today is hydraulic system. In the past 2 weeks we have been discussing how power can be transferred from one point to another in a machine using either the belt drive or the chain drive. This one, the hydraulic system, is also similar to that one in the sense that they also use hydraulic system to transfer power from one point to another in a machine. In the introduction, you can see on the screen, it's written there that hydraulic system is also about power transmission in machinery. But hydraulic system does not only transmit power, it also magnifies the transmitted power to overcome the large load, while both the chain and belt drives use solid materials for their power transmission. Hydraulic system uses liquid for its own power transmission. That means the two differences between hydraulic system and the other two drives we have discussed before is that the hydraulic system does not only transmit power from one point to another, but it also magnifies it. It also increases that power in such a way that it will be converted to useful work that the useful work that the hydraulic system is majorly designed for. And apart from that, the two drives that we have discussed before, they use solid materials. So the belt drive is using pulley and belt. Both are solid materials, while the chain drive is also using chain and sprocket, also solid materials. But in hydraulic system, that one uses liquid as its medium of power transmission instead of a belt and chain that the other drives use as their medium of power transmission. The hydraulic system uses liquid. So the liquid might be either water or oil. Now let's go to the definitions of the hydraulic system. In this topic, I wrote about 3 definitions for hydraulic system, and at the end of the day, by the time you study all the 3 definitions, you'll be able to extract your own definition from the 3 definitions, and you have the full understanding of what hydraulic system is. Number 1 definition here: hydraulic system is a mechanism operated by the pressure transmitted through a liquid when the liquid is forced through a pipe or tube using piston. A system that uses hydraulic system is called hydraulic transmission system. In this definition, we are made to understand that hydraulic system is a mechanism, and the mechanism cannot be operated unless we apply pressure to operate it. And how do we apply pressure? The pressure is applied through piston into the liquid inside the piston pipe. So, and the pressure inside the liquid now goes to the other end of the pipe in order to apply power to and magnifies that power to cause the lifting of any load or any work you want to apply the hydraulic system to. And that is how it works. The number two definition, hydraulic system is a transmission system that uses pressurized liquid to power hydraulic machinery. So this second definition is almost similar to the first one. So it also makes us realize that whenever liquid is pressurized, so it causes power to be transmitted, and it is this transmitted power that hydraulic machinery now uses to do work, and that is the second definition. The third definition, which is definition 3, hydraulic system can also be defined as the system that uses liquid, either oil or water, to transmit mechanical power for useful work to be done. All these definitions, from them we can infer our own definition. So it's not compulsory that we should memorize either of the three definitions. We can infer our own definition and put it down in a way that it will reflect the correct definition of a hydraulic system. And the machines that use this system are called hydraulic machines. So any machine called hydraulic machines, so we can know from that name that, okay, this machine is using hydraulic system. Now let's go to the simple hydraulic system working principle. The working principle of a simple hydraulic system. A typical hydraulic system with simple working principle is the hydraulic jack system, simply drawn below. This diagram you can see here is a simple hydraulic jack system. As we are looking at the diagram, we have one piston at the left side, which is a small piston, and we can see the force being applied onto it in order to push the piston down. The force is applied through our effort, and because the jack is a machine, they use it to lift up load at the other side, which is the right side. So by the time you apply small effort, because we are having small piston there, you can see it is written there, small piston. So if you apply small effort, that is Fs, you can see it written there. So it will be applied onto the small piston, which is having small cross-sectional area, and this results into a pressure inside the liquid. So the pressure, we can see it is represented by letter P. So that is the constant pressure in the hydraulic liquid. The pressure is constant because it is the same pressure that is transferred to the other end of the hydraulic jack system. You can see the pressure when it gets to the large piston, it still remains the same. So when the small effort is applied to the small piston, so because the force or the effort is equal to pressure times cross-sectional area of the piston. So as a result of the area of the small piston that is not as large as the other piston, so we are having small effort. So that is why we can apply small effort to cause that pressure there. And when the pressure is put into the liquid, it is the liquid that now transfers it to the large piston, and the pressure, since it remains the same, so and the area of the large piston, large piston, you can see it is also large cross-sectional area. That is why I represent it by AL. So when it is being multiplied by the pressure that is transferred to it, so it results in large force, and it is that large force that we need to lift up the load to which the large piston is connected to, and we can see it on the screen. So when you apply small effort from the small piston, so it leads to large force in the large piston. And the way it leads to large force, you can see it because that large force is equal to large cross-sectional area times the effort, the pressure you have applied, which is this. So it is that large force that we need to cause the lifting of the load, and that is how hydraulic jack system works. Another diagram of a simple hydraulic system is this. It's similar to the one we have just discussed, but the only difference there is that this one is not fully labeled, so unlike that one. So you can see the small piston, the pressure is applied onto it, so to push down the piston. So when the force pushes down the piston, so it causes pressure inside the liquid that connects the small piston and the large piston together. And as a result of that, when the pressure gets to the large piston, because of the large area of the large piston, so the large area multiplied by that, the same pressure coming from the small piston result into the large force, and that large force now causes the lifting up of any load you put on the large piston, and that is how it works. So it is the note on the brief note on the explanation I've just made that is written here for you, so that you can copy it down, and it will help you to be able to remember the working principle of hydraulic system. Now, types of hydraulic machines. But before we go to that one, I would like us to I would like us to think over what we have learned again from the topic of today, which is hydraulic system. So we should try to make more researches. So inshallah, we are going to stop here for today. So inshallah, by the next lesson, we are going to move on to the types of hydraulic machines. So masalam.